Next on the Greyhound Trackbeat, we've got complete coverage of the Grady Memorial Sprint at Wonderland, plus the Superstar Invitational Sprint from Oregon.
Our features include part 2 of our spotlight on Kennel owner Dick Andrews, and we'll answer one of the most commonly asked questions regarding Greyhound racing.
All this and much, much more coming up next on the Greyhound Trackbeat.
From Miami to New England to Oregon to Arizona, you're tuned and locked in to Greyhound Trackbeat.
Hello and welcome to the Greyhound Trackbeat, the sport's first and only national highlight show. I'm Frank Fort, along with the newest member of our Trackbeat team, Susie Colbert.
Thanks, Frank. You know, I've been covering Greyhound racing in South Florida for quite a while, so I'm really excited to be part of the show.
Well, we're glad to have you with us. Our feature race this month is the Grady Memorial Sprint Championship from Wonderland in Massachusetts.
This race is one of the most prestigious in the sport. Here's how they lined up. In post 1, Hound City. Not even 2 years old, this 77-pounder is the youngest in the field and is quickly becoming one of the up-and-coming stars in Greyhound racing. Hound City comes from St. Petersburg, where he was 15 for 23 in the money, including a second-place finish in the St. Pete Puppy Stakes. Already in 13 starts at Wonderland, he's scored 6 victories, including 3 qualifying round wins.
Bench lead, followed by the 7, then it's 3, 4, 2, 1, 8, 6. They're coming for home. 5, Hound City has it all. 3, 7 for the rest.
Breaking from the 2 box, aggressive style. It's only fitting that this racer makes the final. His 14 victories this meet at Wonderland makes him the track win leader. Aggressive style needs the early lead to be a factor, and as you can see, it's tough to beat when he's in front.
Available as they make the turn. It's the 7 Aggressive Style Hendley on the front end, then it's the 1 Empress Eater on the outside. Coming on the inside, the 8 Pure Harmony, completing the field, and now that is always available. Rightful Lady Dixie Rose making the turn. Uncontested through the lane. That's the 7 Aggressive Style with Rare Stone.
Wearing the white blanket of post 3, Pro's Stormer. This well-traveled veteran has quite a resume. Last year, she won the Connecticut Oaks at Plainfield, competed in the $50,000 Mile High Invitational, and at one point held the fastest 5/16 time in the world with a 29.65 clocking. Pro Stormer loves the outside route.
Greyhounds down the backside. It's Aggressive Style with the lead. There's Hound City up on the outside of challenge. Down on the inside, it's Pro Stormer. Then we have Rare Stone, followed by Video Signal. Top of the lane, coming for home. Aggressive Style, withstanding the challenge. Here comes the 2, Pro Stormer.
Number 4, Whisper Wit. Fresh off winning the American Juvenile Championship, he shows 20 in the money efforts in 26 starts at Wonderland. Whisper Wit is owned and raced by the Pat Dalton Kennel, who has won this championship 3 times.
Now it's Whisper Wit, the 1, and the 6 Get With It, vying for the early lead. Down on the inside, it's Dublin Shadow, the 3, and on the outside, the 4, Gleeful Glen. Then we have Uncle Albert gaining some on the inside, the last 2, Bellamina and Gulfstream. As they make the turn, it's the 1, Whisper Wit. Dublin Shadow races a second. It's 1, 3, 5 to the wire. 1 hanging on.
In post 5, Killer Diller. This Greyhound spent the winter in St. Petersburg, where he finished 3rd in the Derby Lane Sprint Classic. Killer Diller most recently competed in the Cloverleaf Classic in Colorado before coming to Wonderland. Owning 3 in the money finishes and 4 championship prelims, Killer Diller shows off his patented late kick in winning the semifinal race.
The inside followed by the 4 as they make the turn. It's 6, 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 7 and the 8 as they reach the top of the lane. Whisper Wit going for 2 in a row. That's the 6 with the lead.
The 6, Fee Fi Fo Fiona, sports 5 first-place finishes and 15 starts at Wonderland. This fine female ran 2nd in last year's $125,000 Florida World Challenge at Biscayne. Fee Fi Fo Fiona is coming off 2 box to wire efforts.
To make the turn, it's the 2 with the lead. That's Fee Fi Fo Fiona, followed by the 8 J.A. Rock in Sydney. The 6 Dixie Rose. Then we have Rifle Lady. On the outside, Maya's Alien. Then it's Empress Eater as they head for home. With the lead on the front end, that's the 2. Fee Fi Fo Fiona does it again.
In post 7, Flanagan, with 3 wins and a 2nd through the 4 prelims. Flanagan led all other entries with 56 points to earn a spot in the final. This 2.5-year-old pup has been featured on the Trackbeat before, winning the Wonderland inaugural back in January. Flanagan looks to be the one to catch in this race.
West Park Pass On. Then we have the 5, Joda's Butternut, followed by the 2, Pyramid Eli Rulli on the outside, the 8 Odd Contender. Then it is Bubble Bell with AMA Canadian and Char Cruiser. Through the lane, it's Flanagan easily.
Rounding out the field in post 8, Front Cover. Showing 8 wins and 25 starts, Front Cover loves the outside route and should be a major factor here.
On the outside goes Boa Merchant. Down on the rail goes Iron Rail. It's 8-2-1 going into the lower turn. Front Cover has the best of it. Down on the inside, that's the one. Up on the outside moving is the Boa Merchant. That's the 8. 2-8-5, that's Flanagan down on the inside, followed by the 1 Iron Rail. Then we have the 3, 4, 7, 6 Bahama Tip on the end. They're coming for home. Down on the inside, here comes Flanagan, but 2's hanging on.
Let's go trackside for the Grady Memorial Sprint at Wonderland.
They're off for the Grady Memorial Sprint Championship and going right to the front. That is the 7 Flanagan on the outside, 4 Whisperwit down on the inside, the 8 Front Cover on the wide as they go into the lower turn. With the speed to maintain the lead, that's the speedy Flanagan showing the way, followed by the 4 Whisperwit. 8 Front Cover races third. Then we have the 2, 3, 6, 5 and the 1. That's Hound City on the end as they make the turn. Coming down the stretch, that's Flanagan. Henry Chins. Flanagan does it again.
Flanagan makes it look easy, winning by 5.5 lengths and taking home $60,000 for the win. Number 8 Front Cover came from behind to finish second, with number 4 Whisper Wit racing third.
Still to come on Trackbeat, the Connecticut Oaks Championship.
But next, we'll take you inside Dick Andrews' Powerhouse Kennel. We'll be right back.
Greyhound USA, featuring coast-to-coast regional coverage with some of the finest columnists in the country. Other features include commentary by Tom Jicka, cartoons by Dave Olson, handicapping hints by the Wizard of Odds, a professional gambler, plus photos of championship races and much, much more. The sport's only monthly Greyhound newspaper, Greyhound USA.
Greyhound owners, at last there is affordable insurance coverage to protect you against the death of your greyhounds. International Greyhound Insurers, IGI, has designed a variety of coverages to meet your needs. Whether your dogs are on the farm, at the track, or in transit, IGI coverage is available. Protect your pocketbook and your peace of mind. Insure your greyhounds with IGI.
Call IGI toll-free 800-327-8729 or in Florida at 800-432-1039.
I like to hear the crowd when the Greyhounds turn for home.
At Derby Lane, you want action, you got it. It's fun, speed, exciting. You can bet on it. And you can bet there's excellent food at the Derby Club and Plaza 4. A good time, fun time. And general admission is only $1. At Derby Lane on Gandy Boulevard, between St. Petersburg and Tampa.
He started with an Irish import that never left Grade C and is now perhaps the biggest kennel operator in the world. Here's Trackbeat's Marcia Berry with part 2 of our spotlight on Dick Andrews.
While this kennel looks like any ordinary kennel in South Florida, the results are far from it. Welcome to Dick Andrews' Miami Kennel. Over the years, this kennel has raised such stars as Hall of Famer Case Flack, Flashy Sir Award winner Marathon Hound, and most recently named captain of the 1987 All-American team, Case Broadway. Racing 6 circuits continuously, what's the formula for staying on top?
Getting good greyhounds. It's just like coaching a football team. You've got to do the recruiting, whether you raise them, buy them, lace them. Good greyhounds will keep you on top.
Evan Smokey Anion and his wife Jerry have been with Andrews for almost 12 years. Originally a thoroughbred jockey, he's now dedicated to being one of the best greyhound trainers and says his boss has a lot to do with it.
He's the best in the business. So I've worked for some of the top outfits earlier in my career, and this man's head and shoulders over anyone that I've worked for. Maybe that'll get me a raise if he sees the tape.
I love him. He's he doesn't like to be called boss. He says we're all in this together, but he's a friend too. We never, no questions. He's just, we just love him. That's all.
I try and pick people originally that I think I can live with, and that they can live with me. I don't get on a trainer's back if we're having a bad meet or something. I assume it's the greyhounds and that the trainer needs help. I mean, a good trainer can't make a good greyhound out of a bad greyhound. We give Christmas bonuses. We always give vacations, etc. In fact, when I first got into the business, I was criticized for giving people 2-week vacations. They said, you know, are you going to ruin these people? And I said, look, you give the greyhounds a vacation, the people should have a vacation. And I'm very pleased with the people I have. And like I say, I don't hire and fire easily.
Smokey and Jerry look forward to coming to work every day and miss their pups when they go away.
When we go on vacation, we think, oh, if we can just get away for a couple weeks. We're away about a week and we can't wait to come back.
They both load the greyhounds in the morning to go to the sprint path. Jerry handles the driving up and down the course that loosens up these greyhounds that are scheduled to run the following day. When they return, Smokey gets his own workout, massaging the greyhounds on the workbench.
These are animals, they're like athletes. They are athletes. They're on the track by themselves, they run on their own, and they take a lot of knocking around. And it takes a lot of care. If you take care of them, they'll do their best for you. Hey, they get a cookie after we get through, and they know it, so you don't have too much trouble. You can turn one loose out of their crates, and they'll come and get right on it and let you work on them.
Most of the time, Andrews leaves everything up to the trainer.
I'm my own boss. I call in every night after the races with the results, but we'll talk about different dogs, like changing the distance on a dog or something. And if I say, all right, let's try him, it's all right. If I say no, that's it. There's no arguments with it. He pays me to run the show, and that's it. That's what he tells me.
This is West Park's Surfon. She recently ran Wonderland in the Juvenile Stakes. You know, with almost 800 greyhounds around the country, you'd think Dick Andrews would need a computer to keep track of all of them.
Yeah, see, Marcia, this is our so-called computer. What it is, I find it's a lot simpler and it works for me. For example, if I want, on each card we have the name of the greyhound, the sex, the mother, the father, the age, and who owns it. Now, if I want to move this dog from Tampa to, say, Palm Beach, I simply take it on the board and bingo, voila, it is now in Palm Beach.
The board is updated every 10 days or so. Andrews says it's a system that works best for him. Andrews' system must be working because he's always at or near the top wherever he goes.
The dogs, they get the best of everything. These dogs eat better than 90% of the people that watch them run.
Smokey and Jerry love their greyhounds and treat them like their own children.
We look forward and come, these are my children now, and I think they know it. You know, if you give them a lot of love, they'll run their hearts out for you. So that's what we give them, a lot of love.
So it's not only the care of a good trainer for the greyhounds to be successful, it also takes the care of the kennel owner for the trainers. And I think we've shown you what that combination results in.
It makes you feel good.
Dick Andrews' kennel is currently the #1 kennel this summer at Biscayne.
Coming up next, a new track record at Palm Beach. We'll show you how it happened when we come back.
Welcome to Anacare Supply.
We've developed Anacare Supply to satisfy the needs of the greyhound owner, breeder, and trainer. We offer antibiotics, antidiarrheals, anti-inflammatories, and many other products and supplements. All of our orders are processed the same day. This allows you to have a complete line of veterinary products at your convenience.
For the veterinary products you needed yesterday, tomorrow, call Anacare Supply.
There's a party going on at the Greyhound track. The dogs are hot, and that's a natural fact. The action and excitement keeps you coming back.
32 paws pound the sand at 42 miles per hour. It's fun, exciting, it's action. Take I-75 to exit 18 in Bonita Springs. Greyhound Racing, man's best bet.
So join the winners who keep coming back to the Naples Fort Myers Greyhound track.
This is the
Greyhound, a breed apart but not totally unlike other dogs. Just like other pups, Greyhounds are a study in perpetual motion. Like any pet, they crave affection, enjoy being touched. They have a nose for curiosity, and very little escapes their attention. But here the similarities end. This breed of dog is born to run, loves to race. Greyhound racing is outrageously exciting, and yours to enjoy for as little as $1 at Biscayne, Florida's great Greyhound track for over 60 years.
Racing fans at Palm Beach certainly have been getting their money's worth. This is the fastest race ever over the Royal Palm course. With a time of 29:37, He's My Man shatters the old mark of 29:50, which he equaled in April. The previous mark was set back in 1982 by the great Lantana Glamour and was tied by Cool Kelly in 1987. Since that record-breaking performance, He's My Man has been sent to Oregon for the Superstar Invitational Sprint.
$50,000 was on the line for this hand-picked field of 8. Number 1, Coldwater Lonzo, represents Phoenix and has won his last 7 races with 30 in-the-money finishes and 36 starts. Coldwater Lonzo can come from behind or go to the front to win. The pride of Dubuque is number 2, Flyin' Nice. This speed sprinter had 8 wins and 10 starts before flying in for this race.
Number 3 is He's My Man. We just saw his record run at Palm Beach, so he's definitely the one to catch here. The second Iowa-based Greyhound is number 4, Steadfast Kelly, representing Bluff's Run. This inside runner has 12 victories in 22 starts there.
Perhaps the most underrated entry is number 5, Black Streaker. As a kennel mate to He's My Man, Black Streaker's record of 16 wins in his last 34 starts have gone unnoticed. Tri-State West Virginia sends number 6, Rebard. In the capable hands of Marty Cohen, look for Rebard to have a strong late kick.
From Wheeling, West Virginia comes To the Tip. This pup has won 26 of 45 career starts and needs to be near the early lead to factor in the race. Fans from Plainfield will be rooting for Lil Bitty Buddy. With 8 wins and 9 starts in Connecticut, Lil Bitty Buddy will be tough to keep off the board here. Let's go trackside for the call.
And away. Out of the box, number 5, Black Streaker breaks very well. Black Streaker's in front. Number 3, the favorite, He's My Man, is on the rail. And number 3, He's My Man, the favorite, sees a little daylight on the inside. Can he get there? Number 2's out in front, Flying Nice. But number 3, He's My Man, has the inside track. Number 5, Black Streaker right behind. And number 4, Steadfast Kelly in 4th place, but doesn't last, falls back. Number 3, He's My Man, the favorite, as we went to post by a long shot, is out in front. Here comes number 5, Black Streaker.
He's My Man comes from behind and holds off kennel mate Black Streaker for the win. Flyin' Nice and Little Bitty Buddy finished in a dead heat for the show spot.
The Connecticut Oaks was held at Plainfield and had a special twist to it.
Yes, that's right. Only female entries were allowed in this 5/16 race. Some of the Greyhounds to look for include number 3, Putski's Melody. Representing the home track, this pup has won 2 of the 3 elimination rounds. Number 5 is Late Appraisal. Owned by the successful Greyhound brokerage Texas B Greyhounds, this New England star has 1 win and 2/3 in the prelims.
A late speed threat could be number 6, WC Pearl. Racing for the DQ Williams Kennel, WC Pearl is coming off a big win in the semifinal round. A Greyhound that figures to be close to the early pace is number 7, Lady Shamu. This speedster shows 21 of 30 Quinella finishes at Plainfield. Let's go trackside for the call.
And they're off. Taking it down the front stretch, it's number 7 with the lead, Lady Shamu, over 5. 8-1-6-4-2 in the 3 into the first turn. Lady Shamu holds on to the lead now with the 5 moving up on the inside. Down the back stretch, it's number 5, Late Appraisal, over Lady Shamu. 4-1-6-3-2, and the 8 into the far turn. 5 holds on to the lead, Late Appraisal into the front stretch. It's 5 with the 7 and the 6 taking it to the wire.
Late Appraisal has got to be worth some bucks after that race. It's the second major stakes win for this pup, owned by Texas B Greyhounds. Number 6, WC Pearl, ran second with Lady Shamu racing third.
Well, we know Smith Benners down in Texas is happy about those results. And coming up next, and I know you're waiting for this, it's our Greyhound Question of the Month.
Plus results of the richest marathon race in the country. We'll be right back.
Imagine how exciting it would be if the winner of this race was your own racing Greyhound. Texas v. Greyhound sells winners. Company president Smith Benners has guided first-time owners to success since 1980. Our full-service program offers superior bloodlines, quality training, and payments as low as $300 per month. Absolutely no obligation, so call for your free investment package today. The owner of our next big winner can be you.
Hey, dummy, what are you doing with that bone?
Playing the dogs.
I'm telling you, get rid of that bone.
Okay.
Fabulous Flagler is paying off. $2 million every week. That's why everyone's playing the dogs at Flagler. Flagler Greyhound Track. The dogs pay. Post time 7:45.
If you've been looking for a great new restaurant to try, I've got just the ticket for you. I think you'll really enjoy the clubhouse dining room at Wonderland. Who knows, it may become one of your favorites. And nearly 1.5 million people came to Wonderland just last year. So if you're looking for an exciting night out with the fastest action in town, come to Wonderland.
Come play the favorites. Come on. Wonderland.
Every year at Multnomah, racing fans look forward to the Sapling Stake, which features Oregon's best pups. 9 maiden Greyhounds earned their way into the final through 2 elimination rounds and battled it out for their share of the $8,000 purse. Number 2, Hondo Meteoric, took the early lead and holds on to take the 52nd running of this event. Out of Barry Linden and Hondo Schemmer, the speedster looks to have quite a future ahead of him.
While the entries had a bit more experience, the action was just as fierce in the Seabrook Marathon Special. Number 5, Oriental Dinobot, scores her 4th come-from-behind victory in a row to win her 10th race of the meet. She runs down number 4, Walking Dolly, in the stretch, while the overwhelming favorite, number 6, Blend of Poetry, settles for 3rd.
Moving south to Miami, the Heck Marathon Championship had a few surprises in store. With $125,000 on the line, this star-studded field included the likes of Ready to Roar, Pedigree Maggie, Blue Fox Pixie, and Emmanuel. But when the dust settled, it was Bob Mendheim's 17-1 long shot, Back to Normal, who brought the crowd back to earth with an easy 2-length win. Mendheim, who's known for his top-grade sprinters, proves he can come up with some nice distance dogs as well.
It was worth the wait for some fans in Iowa who finally got a taste of some great marathon action.
The first ever Dubuque Marathon Championship turned out to be a thriller. Cut and Loose likes to force the early pace and should be a factor here, especially coming out of the number 1 box. Success in Mind is one of 2 DQ Williams entries and is coming off an 11th length win.
Number 3, Fancy Shopper, has taken a liking to the 7/16th distance, showing back-to-back victories. RK Shining Star needs to get loose on the outside to be a factor.
The second DQ Williams entry is Aces That's That. At 4 years of age, this well-traveled veteran is the oldest in the field. Stitch It sports 11 in-the-money efforts and 17 starts and usually comes from dead last.
Number 7, Odd Par, is an early speed threat that could be a factor here. Breaking from the 8 post is UB Fleet. With 7 Quinella efforts and 9 starts, UB Fleet will be tough to keep off the board. Let's go trackside for the call.
And they're off. And running to the early lead, the 7 on the outside, 5-3. Running down the backstretch for the first time, 7 with the lead, 1 there to the inside second. Into the far turn they go now, 7 with the lead. It's Odd Par, followed by 1-4. They spin from the far turn and charge by the grandstand for the first time. Odd Par with the lead, followed by Cut and Loose, RK Shining Star, 3-2. Into the clubhouse turn they go now. Odd Par shows the way, 1 there to the outside, 4-8-3. Charging down the back stretch, Odd Par with the lead, followed by Cut and Loose, RK Shining Star, UB Fleet. Into the far turn they go now. Odd Par maintains the lead. 1 now to challenge, 8-4-3 in the rail 5th. They're spinning from the far turn, and down the stretch they come in the marathon. It's anybody's race.
Cut and Loose comes from behind to win by a head. Odd Par set the pace and finished second, with UB Fleet coming on for 3rd.
It's time now for the Trackbeat Question of the Month, sponsored by our friends at the Greyhound Review. This month's question comes from Ron and Mary Cunningham of Miami Lakes, Florida. The Cunninghams ask, how are greyhounds identified? While the average fan may have a hard time distinguishing one greyhound from another, each greyhound has its own set of fingerprints to ensure that the greyhound who goes to post is the correct one. The stringent identification system is overseen by the National Greyhound Association, the sole registry for all greyhounds racing in North America. Even before the pup is born, the NGA begins keeping track of the soon-to-be racer. Before the pup reaches 3 months of age, he is tattooed in the ears. The right ear contains a number which corresponds to the month and year of birth, and a letter identifying the individual pup in the litter. The left ear corresponds to the breeding acknowledgement issued by the NGA. Also recorded are the color, sex, markings, distinguishable features, and pedigree. Before the Greyhound is individually registered, allowing him to race, usually around 17 months of age, tattoos, color, markings, and pedigree are checked again.
For information on the sport of Greyhound racing, subscribe to the Greyhound Review, Box 543, Abilene, Kansas, 67410.
Class, speed, heart, and desire. All-American My Unicorn has it all. Here's My Unicorn taking command and winning the 1984 Hollywood World Classic. Out of Rocky T and Flying Energy, My Unicorn features some of the best bloodlines available in America. Pius is a perfect example of the Medigrade A sired by My Unicorn and is shown here running away in the Biscayne Juvenile Stakes. For more information, contact Bob Menheim in Lee, Florida.
For the most complete coverage of Greyhound racing, order an issue of Trackside, the video voice of Greyhound racing. Trackside's 1-hour monthly home video cassette brings you highlights of the nation's top races, handicapping tips, plus exclusive health and medicine reports from Dr. John D. Order your issue of Trackside today.
There's a whole lot of winning going on at the winning track. A lot of winning, yeah, a lot of winning. At Palm Beach Kennel Club, we bet that you want to come back. A lot of winning, yeah, a lot of winning. Come on, there's a whole lot of winning going on.
Greyhound racing at Palm Beach Kennel Club. There's exotic wagering, including Quinella doubles, the Big Six, and the Superfecta. Nights at 8 are just 50 cents. Matinees at 12:30 are free. What are you waiting for? Go to win!
Palm Beach Kennel Club. There's a whole lot of winning going on.
Some of the races we'll highlight on the next edition of Trackbeat include the Irish American at Biscayne. 32 Irish breds compete against 32 American breds. This race always attracts the best racers in the country. Another race we'll feature is the Stroh's Invitational. It was inaugurated last year and was the sport's first invitational race.
To invite 8 of the greatest dogs in the country at the present time and run them one time and then let everybody go home is I think kind of a true test. You know, so many times they go in a stake race and they lose out in the quarterfinals because they fell down or something else. And this is just to give our fans in Colorado the opportunity to see the nation's best in one shot.
We'll also have complete coverage of the Wonderland Derby. The early favorite in this one is Mr. John D. Back in top form after he suffered a foot injury earlier this year in Florida, his track record holder appears to be the one to beat. Well, that does it for this edition of the Greyhound Track Beat, the sport's first and only national highlight show. I'm Frank Ford.
And I'm Susie Culver. We'll be looking for you next time on Trackbeat. Goodbye.
So long.
If you have any questions or comments regarding Greyhound racing, or if you'd like to adopt a retired Greyhound as a pet, write to Greyhound Trackbeat in care of Perfectavision.